In baseball, players always seem to be either beloved or hated, with not much room in between. Most people don't like Manny Machado, most people love Mike Trout, but I think if I were to send out a poll to 50 random MLB fans, 25 of them would say that they love Pete Crow-Armstrong, and the other 25 would say that they hate him. But why is that? Why is Pete Crow-Armstrong so disliked? And also, why do so many people like him at the same time? What does he do that makes people so angry? And why do people love him because of that? Seriously, he's one of the most electric players in the league. One game he's making a ridiculous catch that has a 5% catch probability, and the next game he's losing a ball in the sun and half of Twitter is acting like their favorite team just won the World Series because of PCA's failures. Some fans think he's genuinely a superstar, and others act like if you say that he's even a top 100 player, that you personally went outside, walked into their car, and started running over bunnies with it intentionally. The truth is, he's not disliked because of his play on the field. Well, sort of. It's how he plays the game. He plays with too much passion and emotion for some fans. Like rookie Bryce Harper, who came up and lit the league on fire with his passion, and he showed it all the time. Some people couldn't stand that, and they still don't. The same thing happened with Fernando Tatis Jr. in 2020 when he came up and was one of the most electric players we have ever seen. He was bat flipping, he was dancing, he was celebrating, and people didn't like him because of it. I think PCA is in a similar boat. So do sports fans actually want athletes to have personalities, or is it that they only want athletes to have certain kinds of personalities? Pete Crow-Armstrong doesn't fall into that second mold. He's not a guy that has a normal personality, but he might be exactly what baseball needs right now. A villain that people can get excited to watch him fail, but at the same time being a lovable maniac that is maybe the single most electric player in the entire league. Let's talk about PCA. And before I finish talking about PCA, I wanted to talk about today's sponsor, SeatGeek. With over 70,000 different live events listed right now on SeatGeek, including concerts, festivals, and sports games, it's no wonder why SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. We are in the middle of June and there is no better time to go and watch your favorite team. The weather is the best it's going to be all year. We're getting towards the middle of the season, the games are starting to matter more, the nights are getting longer, and again, the weather's perfect. Go to a baseball game, it's always a fun time. Unless you're a Red Sox fan, then baseball isn't fun, but going to the game is still fun. Use SeatGeek, it's the easiest way to do it. I say that because of their good deal, bad deal system, which is super easy to follow. When you're scrolling through SeatGeek looking for what tickets you want to buy, green means good deal and red means not so great deal. Stay away from the red tickets, go purchase the green tickets. And of course, I have a code for you guys. You can use code PESKY10 for 10% off of your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. Again, that's 10% off any tickets on SeatGeek using code PESKY10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it in the future. Thank you once again to SeatGeek for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to talking about Pete Crow-Armstrong. For the most part, PCA is a pretty basic guy, I think. Apart from the blue stars in his shaved head, I don't think if he wasn't a famous athlete, anyone would care about what this guy does. He hasn't done much that is genuinely problematic, but because everything he does for 4 hours a day, 162 days a year is on camera, people are going to see a lot of the decisions and antics he makes personally. He knows that, and he leans into them, and I think he knows that he's the villain, and he doesn't care, he actually likes it, and again, he leans into it. PCA, if you didn't know, was once traded for another one of the most electric players in MLB history, Javier Baez. This is a trade that I'm sure the Mets regret badly, as Javi played just 47 games in New York, and to be fair, those 47 games were very good, but they lost a player that is at worst a star, and at his best, one of the best players in the game. In 2021, when this trade happened, PCA wasn't even a top 100 prospect. and he stayed off the top prospect list in 2022 as well. But he was very good in the minors that season, hitting .312 with 16 home runs and 32 stolen bases while playing that future Platinum Glove defense that he would show off in MLB. On MLB's 80 grade prospect scale, PCA was given an 80 grade defensive tool, and again, that translated accurately to MLB. He's one of the best defenders this league has ever seen. By 2023, his previous season had turned enough heads to put him on the top 100 prospect list, and he landed 27th on MLB.com's pipeline. And after another very good season in the minors where he hit 20 homers and stole 37 bases, the Cubs decided it was time to see what PCA could do at the major league level. And in his cup of coffee in 2023, he went hitless in 14 at-bats. Not the start that he was hoping for, and probably not the start that he imagined, but that's the reality of Major League Baseball. It's a tough league. However, due to his struggles in his first few games in 2023, he started 2024 in AAA, but that wouldn't last long, and on April 24th, he was back in MLB and got his first hit on April 25th. And that also happened to be his first career home run. The next game, he went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs as well, but this success wouldn't really last for PCA as he was optioned back to the minors on May 20th, but that only lasted 10 days, partially because of one of PCA's first viral moments. I'm going to roll the clip now.
Peralta kicks and delivers, swinging a drive, right field, way back, ball by.
The context of that clip is Pete Crow-Armstrong was thrown at twice by the opposing pitcher. He hit an absolute moonshot off of him and gave us one of the most aggressive bat spikes anyone has ever seen. And with that, the Cubs knew he had to be back up in the majors. He didn't hit another MLB home run until the middle of July, however, almost 3 months after his first home run. But he did hit 2 home runs in that game that he hit his second one in, putting his total at 3 career. And of course, this came off of human batting practice pitcher Miles Mikolas. He ended his rookie season with 10 home runs, 13 doubles, 6 triples, and 27 stolen bases while hitting .237. But he also played good enough defense to put him in Gold Glove contention, and even though he didn't win, again, he was showing that this 80 grade defense tool was translating into Major League Baseball. He showed off his tools year 1, speed, defense, a really good arm, some solid power, but 2025 would be different for PCA. He was going to develop into a star. Pete quickly became one of the most electric players in all of Major League Baseball, posting a 30-30 season in his first real full season in Major League Baseball, and he won a Gold Glove in center field to go along with the 30-30 season. He was an all-star for the Cubs, and although his rate stats weren't the best anyone had ever seen, posting 37 doubles along with the 30 stolen bases and homers is just insane offensive production. And by the way, when I say Pete Crow-Armstrong was a Gold Glover in center field, this guy was one of the best center fielders we have ever seen. And he's celebrated, and he was sure to let people know just how good he was. PCA was so good defensively that he had more 5-star catches than all but one entire team in 2025. He himself was better than all the teams in baseball, other than one and of course his Chicago Cubs. But he had 19 5-star catches, and these are obviously not easy catches to make. It's what makes them 5-star. They're all spectacular catches. And that's where most of his absurd 24 outs above average came from. Now, Twitter doesn't like anyone, but Twitter especially does not like Pete Crow-Armstrong, as it seems like everyone is on him every single time he makes a mistake. You can see those examples flashing on screen as I'm talking about this. In 2026, the league is kind of turned on PCA. Everyone has begun to think he's just overrated, and I don't really know why. MLB.com ranked him as the 40th best player heading into the season in 2026, right around players like Cody Bellinger, George Springer, Bo Bichette, and Pete Alonso. And personally, I don't see why a platinum defender that has 30-30 seasons wouldn't be a top 40 player, but Twitter sees it differently. Again, in my opinion, I would rather have Pete Crow-Armstrong than George Springer, Bo Bichette, or Pete Alonso. You could make the argument for Cody Bellinger. I would probably take Cody Bellinger over PCA, but it's close. I would consider taking Pete Crow-Armstrong. PCA has been all over the internet in 2026. He's had quite a few viral moments. He's had game-tying home runs in the 9th inning, he's had a walk-off this season, his first career walk-off, and he's shown his emotion on the field pretty often as well, including earlier this season when he was hearing overrated chants coming from the tarps off section in St. Louis. He hammered a no-doubt home run, and clearly he heard the overrated chants as he did the tarps off celebration as he crossed first base. Honestly, I don't understand why people don't love this. I don't get it. It's incredible. That's the best kind of heckling. Just give it back to the fans that are giving it to you. What's wrong with that? Especially this, he's just doing a little motion that they do to him. Why can't he do that back? It's not like he's doing anything wrong there, but people didn't like it. I love it. It's super funny. Anyway, he's going to show you his emotion, he's going to show you his passion, and he's gonna fail at times, but he's also going to succeed. PCA was an underdog. He rose to superstar level, and now everyone hates him because he's succeeded too much. Because now he's a great player. He's a flawed player, he still strikes out a lot and chases all the time, but he's a great player. He has had a weird season this year though. He's made quite a few errors where he's just lost the ball in the lights, and one of them resulted in an inside the park home run after he just didn't go and get the ball. That was a pretty funny clip, but he always bounces back seemingly the next day and makes another insane 5-star catch. This is just the Pete Crow-Armstrong experience. It's what you get with him. He's also had 2 bad moments, one of them on the field and one of them in the locker room. The worst thing he has done this year, without question, and realistically in his career, was cuss out a woman White Sox fan who told him he sucked after he failed to make a catch. Now, personally, I'm all for players talking back to hecklers, but what Pete said was absolutely uncalled for, and it's just not something that you can say to a woman. As a professional, or just as a person in general, it's unacceptable. PCA was later fined for this altercation, and the Cubs actually went on a losing streak after this moment, so I wonder if there was some bad karma because of it, but later, he did apologize after the altercation and said that he wouldn't have used those words if he could go back and do it again, and that's definitely the right mindset. I'm not going to say what he said, of course, but just trust me, it wasn't good. Or if you want to look it up, I'm sure you can find it on the internet. Heckling the fans back is fine in my opinion, but you have to do it with some level of respect, and you can't cross boundaries that PCA definitely did. The other controversy he was involved in this year is much more tame, and honestly, I even struggle to call it a controversy, but it made people upset. And it's what he said about Dodger fans. He basically said that Dodger fans are not like Cubs fans. They're at the stadium more for pictures and the experience, rather than rooting for the team like Cubs fans do. Personally, I don't mind this comment at all. He was supporting his fan base more than he was bringing down Dodger fans, in my opinion, and with PCA being from the LA area, I think he was probably talking from personal experience with people that he knows from his childhood. The real issue here is him not backing up his words in any way with his play after that. He had a horrible series in LA, which made him look a little silly after saying what he said before the series started. At the end of the day, you aren't going to see tweets like this if you aren't a successful and good player, unless your name is Anthony Volpe, then you see these tweets all the time. But generally, these are the tweets that you start to get thrown your way when you've made an impact on the league and have started making enemies. If you're a great player, you make enemies. No Yankees fans were cheering for David Ortiz when he stepped into the box at Yankee Stadium, and that's because he was great, and that's what happens to successful players. PCA is a dynamic player that wears his heart on his sleeve. With blue stars dyed into his blonde hair, he bat flips, he plays hard, he celebrates, he throws his bat when he's angry. He'll get into it with fans, the media, other players on the field, but at the end of the day, that's what baseball is in today's game. Players show personalities. It was really started by rookie Bryce Harper. You saw it constantly with prime Fernando Tatis Jr. in the bat flips and the dancing and the celebrations, and now PCA is the player that everybody loves to hate. In a few years, people will get over it. People will just start seeing what PCA is. In 2026, he still has the best outs above average in all center fielders, He's on pace for 30 stolen bases, almost 7 WAR, around 25 homers, and an almost 800 OPS. He's a very solid bat. He's 23% above league average according to OPS+, so realistically, he's actually more than solid. And again, he's an electric factory on the bases while playing the most important defensive position on the field at a platinum glove level. This guy is a guy that should be beloved, but unfortunately, he has just a little bit too much fun playing the game, and that has made him the most controversial player in all of Major League Baseball. He is not the first guy that was controversial because of the way that he plays the game, and he's certainly not going to be the last guy.